Lesson 56, Saxon Algebra 1/2, second edition. Now I know yesterday when I left you I said I'll see you back for lesson 55. That was a mistake. We already were doing lesson 55, so here we are at lesson 56, and this lesson is on percents. Now a lot of times we hear people say, students say, why do I need to learn this? How am I ever going to use it? Well, I'm glad you asked, because in this particular lesson, there's a very definite answer. Do you ever go shopping? Do you ever see 30% off? I'm sorry, I did not mean to do that. 30% off, 50% off, 25% more or extra free. How about do you pay your tithe? You need to know what 10% of your income is. Alright, so we need to know how to figure percents of numbers so that, because we're going to use them a lot in real life. Alright, so percent means exactly that. Cent means 100, so it means per 100. Here we have a chart, a grid. It has 100 squares, so the 100 squares represent 100%. One whole 100%. Alright, the value of each one of those squares is 4/10. So, if the whole grid has 40, then each square is 4/10. Now, I've got 20 out of all of these rows, all of these blocks are colored in. So what percentage do we see colored in here? We see 20%. Alright? So when we figure percent, it's pretty easy to figure 1% of something just in your head. Okay, so the question is, what is 1% of 7,500? Well, if we say that 1% is the same as 1/100th, what is 1/100th of 7,500? It would be 75. We just move that decimal 2 places. So, if 1% is 75, then what is 34%? Well, then all we need to do is take 75 and multiply it by 34 to find out that percentage of 7,500. So let's do that real quick. And we get 2,550 is 34% of 7,500. Now 34% is about a third, and 25 is about a third of 75. So I can say, yeah, that does make sense. Alright, what is 1% of 67? Well, if I say that my decimal is here at the end, and think of this as 2 zeros because it's 1 out of 100, I move it 2 decimals, then my answer is 0.67 or 67 hundredths. So then if I have to figure out what is 140% of 67, I can say 140 times 0.67, do my math, 8, 9, then I've got a 0, 24, 8, add all together, then I've got 2 decimal places, so 93.8 or 93.80 is 140% of 67. Alright, well 100% of 67 would be 67. So we know we're looking for a number that is larger than 67, almost 1.5 times larger. So yeah, again, 93.8 does make sense. Alright, let's do your practice problems. We have 4. The first one, A, says what is 1% of 64? Well, let's move that decimal. 1% of 64 is 64 hundredths. So what is 40% of 64? Well, we say 0.64 times 40. We get 0, 0, and then 4 times 4 is 16, 25, add it up, 2560, move my decimal 2 places, so 25.6 is 40% of 64. Now 50% is half, right? 50% of 64 would be 32. So we're looking for a number a little bit smaller than 32. We're asking ourselves, does this answer make sense? And yeah, when we look at it that way, it really does. Alright, final 2. What is 1% of 5? Well, if I move my decimal place 2 places, I'm going to have to put 5 hundredths. So if 5 hundredths is 1% of 5, what is 35% of 5? Well, I'm going to multiply 35 times 5 hundredths. And then 0.175. Move my decimal 2 places from the right. My answer is 1.75. Alright, good job. Hope this will be an easy lesson for you, and certainly not a whole lot of work per problem, so enjoy that, and I will see you next time for lesson 57.